What's up, guys? Brandon here from Gearist, and today we're going to be taking... What's up, guys? Brandon here from Gearist, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Adventure Vesta from Ultimate Direction. Now, this is one of those reviews where I was not the person that reviewed this particular product. This one today was actually reviewed by this lady right here, Miss Tanya Schlossberg, married to this stud right here, Ben, who we also recently heard from. Now, Lori, our run category manager, also did a little bit of testing on this particular product and had a little bit of input, but you'll also see some pictures of her wearing the product, as well as some stock footage that we've used here and there. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. If you follow any of the news in the ultra running or pretty much adventure endurance category at all, you probably know exactly who Scott Jurek is. As it so happens, his wife Jenny is also quite an accomplished ultra runner herself and has spent about 16 years in the product development and apparel industry. Now, you may also know that Ultimate Direction has the Scott Jurek collection, or the Jurek collection, among their packs, and this is one of those places where also Jenny has her own collection. In fact, it's not just the pack we're going to be taking a look at today. It's a series of handhelds, it's a series of waist packs, and adventure packs, like the backpacks, like the Adventure Vesta that we're going to be taking a look at. Jenny is first and foremost a climber, and as such, you can see some of the details in this pack that kind of give a nod to that. These include places for poles to be held and things like ice axe loops and things like that, which definitely come in handy when you get into more high alpine territory. Now, since Tanya herself is currently not a climber yet, she is a runner, an ultra runner, in fact. Ultra running and hiking and running in general is where she's going to be taking a look at this pack from. The first thing we're going to be taking a look at with the Adventure Vesta is its materials and construction. The total capacity of the pack comes right in at about 11.2 liters. This includes the entire cargo compartment. The dimensions are roughly 11.8 by 9.4 by 9.8 inches. The pack itself is super lightweight, coming in under 10 ounces, and the way they get away with this is making it entirely built of mesh. Now, you see different types of mesh here depending on the gap size. It's either referred to as Airwall or Darlington Power Mesh. For instance, right up against the back, one of the things that you're going to see is a mesh with a larger gap in it. This is to aid in heat dissipation and really keeping that airflow and comfort up against your skin going. There are also a few places on this which incorporate a ripstop nylon, and as Tanya mentions in her written review, which you can see at gearist.com, this has zero signs of wear, and again, she has really worn this for training for several ultras as well as just local races and hiking and things like that. And now let's get into the various parts of the Adventure Vesta. Right against the runner's back is a pocket that is not the main cargo compartment. This is actually where you're going to find yourself being able to put the water bladder, hydration bladder, should you choose to carry one. Right at the top, there is a little bit of a Velcro or hook and loop closure, which is going to hold the top of the hydration bladder to keep it from sagging down as the water begins to kind of be emptied out of it. The hose for the hydration pack can be routed along either shoulder and down through the pack, and however you want to route it out there for your preference or convenience. Now, the main compartment, which we find on the outside of that hydration compartment, actually has a zipper that goes across the top and down the right-hand side. This compartment also has double zipper pulls, one on either end, so you can either open it from the side or from the top. This is where you can store a boatload of gear, including for Tanya's ultramarathon that she was training for. She carried such things as a long sleeve shirt, long pants, a rain jacket, food, a small extra water bottle, bandages, because you never know, and a headlamp. And she still had a little bit of room to spare, which is indicative of this thing being a lot larger than it may appear. This pocket also has a polyester lining, which is meant to keep some of that sweat and that moisture that might build up in there from accessing those things. Keep it a little bit of water resistance, if you will. Now, on the left-hand side of the top of that, on the outside of that, we can see two vertical zipper pulls, which provide two additional pockets. Both of these pockets are the same size, and the only real difference is that one of them contains a clip, which can hold an Ultimate Direction hair tie that comes with it. Tanya noted that she was really excited about this because it's been more than once where she has needed herself an extra hair tie because one is broken, or she's come across another woman on the trail who might need one herself. This little hook can be used to hold that hair tie, multiple hair ties, I would assume, and your keys if needs be. In these front side pockets, Tanya usually kept, according to her, tissues, some food, money, and a credit card, and maybe even a phone if needs be. One of the things that I found interesting is that Tanya noted that while these main compartments speak to, the larger things and then those smaller compartments to the more narrow things, the fact is that she never really ran out of space because those pockets, as well as the front side shoulder strap pockets, which we'll talk about in a second, provided a lot of storage space for carrying whatever you might have. Finally, on the back, you'll notice this piece of mesh that kind of runs vertically down the center of the pack. What this is really kind of an open top pocket. This is not something that you can really zip shut or Velcro shut or what have you. This is something that with the attached bungee cord loops over the top and hooks closed. This is a great spot to be able to stuff things like jackets or pants or whatever loose stuff you want to put down in there without thinking too much about it or having to find pocket space by taking the pack off. It is worth noting that this, like a lot of packs, obviously as you begin to fill up those internal larger compartments, the things on the outside like this mesh kind of drop pocket or stuff pocket are going to be a little more difficult to find space in because the internal space is going to be filled up, thus stretching the outside of the pack as well. As you can see, running in an X pattern down the middle of the back is this bungee cord setup. Now what's great about this is that, you know, you really want a pack to be held close to your body and to not bounce, especially when it's not super full, because all those things, the farther away it gets from your back, the more it's going to be weight out there on a fulcrum point, and that's going to bounce up against you. It's going to cause weird chafing and so on and so forth. This is a great way to really lock that down. You can obviously tighten it from the top and then loop it over and snap it, or rather hook it up at the top. But if you'll see these hooks down the perimeter of the back, you can also extend those straps out to get even further stretch to pull more of that backpack together in a more cohesive unit so it doesn't bounce even more. Tanya was really excited because she was able to use really creative ways to hold different things on this, using it to hold her jacket or a long sleeve shirt or something like that, or using it to hold her trekking poles in place. This is something that is really up to you and your creativity with how you want to use it. As far as performance goes, Tanya was really excited not only about the backpack pockets that you have on this, but also those front pockets that are along the shoulder straps there. For her, she really wants access to 3 things while running. Number 1, her cell phone. Number 2, some tissues. And number 3, lip balm. And because of the superfluence of packets that are right up front, or pockets rather, that are right up front, she was able to easily access those things whenever she wants without having to take off the pack and dig around in the main compartments. When it comes to fit, Tanya and Lori mentioned that they were really excited about the way that you could adjust this in so many different directions because, after all, we all have different bodies. And because it's a women's specific vest, this is taking into account those things which we guys have no idea about. So you've got these low back shoulder adjustments, you've got the hip belt, you've got the sternum strap, which can all be adjusted to fit different people's bodies in different ways based on your preference and needs. Now, while she did find the Adventure Vesta perfect in pretty much every way, one of the things that Tanya found to be a little bit annoying might be the wrong word, but lacking, let's just say, is the water bottle system. Now, this does come with a pair of soft flasks which go in those front pockets, which you can see here. What's interesting about this is because these are soft, as you take water out of them, you've essentially got a vacuum in there. There's no air because you've got the bite valves at the top of the spout. As you begin to drink, these bottles are going to sag down into those pockets. And then as you get lower and lower, what happens is you have to dig down in that front pocket to be able to pull the spout up to be able to drink even more. Eventually winding up with it is essentially an empty plastic ball in the bottom of this pocket. Now, each of those pockets does have a little bit of a drawstring which can tighten and hold it up there. But as the thing gets softer and tends to go down in that pocket, there's just not simply much you can do with it. Now, this did come with Tanya on a 12-hour ultra marathon. And when you're getting into distances and times on your feet like that, it's these small things that start becoming a little bit frustrating. Tanya's solution in that case of that 12-hour ultra marathon was to fill up at every aid station she could. That way she had as much liquid in each of those bottles as she could at any given time to keep them as kind of inflated, if you will, as she could. Now, when those bottles got about halfway, one of the things that she found was a little, again, annoying was that rim around the top of the bottle there. That is, while still soft and flexible plastic, is a little more rigid in that area. And as it would begin to go down in the pocket, what she found was that that was pushing right into her breasts, as she says. This would make her a little bit uncomfortable and cause some kind of just pressure in spots she wasn't comfortable with. And it would also cause a little bit of chafing from time to time if not careful. It is worth mentioning, as Tanya does, that when you're going at lower speeds, so when you're hiking and just using this as a day pack or something like that, rather than running where there's much more vertical oscillation or jostling and things like that, this sort of knocking around of the bottles in those pockets or collapsing and stuff like that is less of a problem. Tanya says, and I would love to see this too, because we see this in a lot of companies, not just from Ultimate Direction, it would be great to see somebody try to figure out a solution to this. How can you keep those bottles from collapsing while still effectively having a lightweight and flexible bottle in there that can be just rolled up and stuffed away if needs be? Of course, if you want to, you can avoid those bottles altogether and just go straight up with the hydration bladder, depending on your taste. The Adventure Vesta from Ultimate Direction comes in 2 sizes, extra small/small or medium/large. The smaller of those 2 sizes should fit somebody with a chest circumference of 26 to 38 inches or 66 to 97 centimeters, and the larger size should fit somebody with a chest circumference of 32 to 41 inches or 81 to 104 centimeters. It's also worth keeping in mind that just as when you fill up the main compartments with more stuff, jackets and what have you, you start to take up that external area. As you begin to fill it up, you're also going to make it fit a little more snugly. So if you're taking this on longer stuff, just be aware that that's going to happen the more gear you pack in there. Now, for comparison's sake, Tanya usually wears a size small in tops. And in this case, she really felt that the medium and large actually fit her quite well. Tanya did notice that she had to tighten down the sternum straps as far as they would go, and it just kind of things down to fit her body in particular, but that's one place that she pointed out. Now, if you had a smaller frame than her, this might be something where you might find yourself going to the smaller of the 2 sizes because you wouldn't be able to get as snug a fit as you might want to. Then you wind up with bouncing, then you wind up with chafing. It's no good. But again, remember that this has a lot of adjustability and you should be able to return this or exchange it anywhere you buy it online. In fact, if you want to check this out, definitely be sure to check the buy links down in the description of this video because we do try our best to find deals for you guys so that you're not paying the full price. Tanya does think that she also would have been fine in the extra small/small, but since she used this quite as a hiking pack as well as an ultra marathon pack, this is something that she really felt allowed for her to put a lot of extra gear in there to carry her with her. She mentions that it is no surprise, and I can't say that I disagree with her, that there are a ton of 5-star customer reviews floating around out there online. With a really great fit, a lot of storage capacity in those small pockets up front, the larger pockets in the back, the ability to store things in a more weatherproof container, the ability to carry either a hydration bladder or the included water bottles, the Adventure Vesta from Ultimate Direction really offers a lot for runners, as well as general adventure seekers altogether. Whether you're going out on your short daily adventures or you're going out on some more long stuff, this is a really well-built and super high-designed pack that's going to keep you safe. It's going to keep you with all the things that you need, including that hydration, which is, of course, of ultimate importance. Now, one of the other things that she comments on is she really liked the colors and the design of this pack, which I have to say are really very cool looking and also might play into being a little bit more visible when you need to be. Now, for a pack of this versatility, for a pack of this kind of quality and storage and things like that, Tanya mentions, and I agree with her fully, that $149, which is the price tag of this, is a really fair price. And like most things in this world, especially in the outdoor gear world, the more you're going to spend, not all the time, of course, you get what you pay for. You're paying for something that is a really high quality pack that's going to be able to carry you through multitude of adventures, and it's going to be able to carry those things that you're going to need, not just be a pack on your back with some water in it. This is a pack with its versatility and all the things it can offer that, again, $149 is a really great deal. And again, check those buy links down below to see what we found it for. And I should also mention here that this is a good time to check out the Jurek collection from Ultimate Direction. I've got links to that down below also because this is something where, again, it's kind of just carrying over that quality construction and design. The Caprichka collection that's also from Ultimate Direction, they're really doing good stuff these days, and there are a lot of competing companies out there that also make great stuff, but Ultimate Direction is one of those leading the way. All right guys, before we get into our question of the day, I want to please ask you to subscribe to this channel and share it with all your friends. I would really appreciate that. If you know somebody who's looking for hydration pack, for instance, definitely share this review with them. Let them know what's up and let them know that this is something that they can count on and that Gearist is the place to check it out. That would really help a lot to support us. You can also follow us on all the socials. Just search for Gearist on any of the platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, what have you. And also, if you want to just email us the old-fashioned way, you can do so by emailing info@gearist.com. Now, my question of the day for you guys is, if you've had a pack where a water bladder or bottles are an option, which do you prefer? Do you go with both? Do you go with just the bottles? Do you go with just the bladder? What do you like? And if you've got those soft flasks that you're using, what are some of the creative solutions that you've used to keep them from collapsing? Let us know down in the comments section below. Guys, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us today. And again, if you've got any questions, just reach out either in the comments, info@gearist.com, or on the socials. We would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.